Hello, my name is Claire Oliver from the Bureau of Utility Operations. Today, I have Eddie Cope and Scotty Harmon, and we will be talking about the process of making quality, award-winning water for Anne Arundel County, businesses and homes.
Anne Arundel County uses groundwater as our source water that we provide to the public. We have 55 wells that range in depth from 115 feet to 1,550 feet deep in the ground. The main things that we try to remove out of the water is high iron levels, hydrogen sulfide, and we have low pHs, so we try to raise it to an acceptable level.
As Eddie said in the opening, one of the things that we have to do with our incoming water is remove dissolved gases that could cause taste and odor problems. We do that by mixing air with water. That process is called aeration, and the aerators that do that are right behind me. And we are currently flowing about 11,000 gallons through those aerators, and that aeration system will take out any dissolved gases that may cause taste and odor problems later on in our process.
The next process at this treatment facility is rapid mixing. Rapid mixing takes chemicals and puts it like into a big blender. We have 3 chemicals that we add at this point. First is lime. We add lime to raise the pH up to about a 7.5 to an 8.0, so when it goes into the distribution system, it doesn't corrode. The second thing that we add is disinfection. We add chlorine to disinfect the water to make it safe for the public and for the citizens of Anne Arundel County. Finally, the third thing we add is polymer. Polymer helps to remove the iron out of the water to make it aesthetically pleasing to our customers.
One of the other things we try to remove through our treatment systems are high iron loads that come from our underground wells. The way we do that is we use gravity in a system that we call coagulation, which is the mixing of chemicals that Eddie just talked about, followed by another process called flocculation, where that mixed chemical starts forming heavier particles of iron. They clump together, and we use gravity to treat them. The 2 steps in flocculation are very simple. We use mixers to gather the particles of iron together to form bigger particles of iron. We have a fast speed system here that gathers them quickly, and we have a slower speed system there that makes the particles bigger. After they leave the flocculation cycle, they go into a sedimentation cycle. At this particular water treatment plant, we have 8 different sedimentation basins and 32 different flocculation motors and mixers that help treat the water and make it safe for our citizens to drink.
As Scotty indicated, we've taken small iron particles, gathered them together. Now we send them to the sedimentation basin right here, where we reduce the velocity. And the job then is gravity. Gravity will help remove those suspended solids of iron and knock them out. The average rate for a sedimentation basin is about 75 to 90% solids removal. At this facility, they get a little over 90% solids removal out of these basins. The sludge that is collected, which is the iron, is then sent to a decant or a recycle basin, which is directly behind us. Occasionally, some of these sedimentation basins need to be taken out of service for preventive maintenance. And as you can see right here in this one's taken out of service. We help to remove the extra sludge that is in there, do some minor repairs, and this is done on a periodic basis.
After the water leaves our sedimentation process, the water is directed into our filter complex. At this facility, there are 12 filters that are used to polish the water and remove any iron sediment that may not have been removed through the sedimentation process. In each one of our 12 basins, there are layers of garnet, sand, and anthracite coal that help trap any iron particles that may have came through our sedimentation process and to ensure quality water on the backside of our treatment process. After a great while, our filters will start building up with the iron that we polished after the sedimentation basin. When this occurs, we need to backwash the water, and essentially we're taking our water and backing it up through the bottom of the filter, through the top of the filter, and removing any sediment that is trapped. We collect that sediment in a sedimentation basin, and we recycle or use again any water that was wasted through the washing of this filter. Right now we are underneath our filter complex. The pipes behind me direct the water from the bottom of our filters, the water that has already come through our sand, anthracite, and garnet sand, and has collected all the iron. These pipes will direct the water to our storage tanks that are on the property. At each one of our water facilities, we have a small testing lab where we test different processes throughout the process of treating the water. Here at this facility, we test for pH, chlorine residual, fluoride levels, and the amount of iron that is left after the polishing and removal of our filter complex. We also in the county have a weekly testing sample protocol where our people collect samples from businesses and homes throughout the county. We have semi-annual testing and annual testing to ensure compliance with the Maryland Department of Environmental and EPA standards.
Now that we've taken our source water and we've ran it through many treatment processes to make it safe and clean for the public, we now store it. We store it in two places. We have a 1 million gallon clear well, which is underneath this facility. And then back over to my immediate right, we have a 3 million gallon ground storage tank that stores the water. The reason we do this is, one, we allow the chlorine to have time to disinfect the water properly before we send it out to the public. And two, if there's a fire, we have 4 million gallons on site that we could potentially fight that fire with. And then of course, three, high demand periods. July and August are high demand periods for Anne Arundel County, so we have this extra storage here to meet those heavy demands as the public uses that excess water.
The last step in the process for this treatment plant is to take the water from our ground storage tank and pump it to the citizens and customers of Anne Arundel County. The large pumps behind me accomplish that for this facility.
When the water leaves the treatment facilities, it travels through water mains throughout the entire county. In order to get the water into the homes and businesses, we have to tap into these mains. They're called service lines. The service lines run the water from the main to the homes and to the businesses. In order to take into account what we pump compared to what is used, we have water meters for that purpose and also for billing reasons. In the future, if you have any water or wastewater concerns, you can call our 24-hour customer service hotline at 410-222-8400. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Eddie, and thank you, Scotty, for explaining how we get quality water to the homes and businesses of Anne Arundel County.